Hi everyone, and welcome to mailbag number 2. This is an opportunity for me to answer questions from students about presentation skills. So we have 3 letters in our mailbag today, and let's get started with letter number 1, and that is from Mixed Up in Maicho. So let's hear what they have to say. All right. Dear Mr. Scott, I practiced at home with a clock, and my presentation was about 5 minutes. Then, when I presented in class, I spoke for 3 minutes. What happened? Regards, Mixed Up in Maicho. This is a really good question and brings up an important issue about timing. And as you've seen in other videos, I do encourage students to practice their presentations with a clock so they know about how long their presentation is. And one important thing to remember is that for some people, when you present, you talk a little bit faster than you do when you're practicing. And the reason for that is nerves, and this kind of being nervous or anxious can make people talk a little bit faster than they would normally. So it's important to factor that in, and one way to watch out for this or to kind of prepare yourself for that is just to present with a watch on and have a rough idea of how long your introduction is, and after your introduction, look at your watch and see if you're going faster or slower than you did during your practice. And then if you are going faster during the body, you can just remember to take a deep breath and go a little bit slower. But that is a good question from Mixed Up in Maicho. So I encourage you to, as you're presenting, be aware of the speed that you're talking. Okay, let's look at letter number 2. This one is from Questioning in Kwangning. So let's see what's on their mind. Dear Mr. Scott, should I hold anything in my hand when I present? For example, a stick or a ruler so that I can point out things on my poster. Sincerely, Questioning in Kwangning. This really is a good question. I think a lot of students feel more comfortable holding something in their hand, for example, a ruler or a stick or something like this, and they want to point to the poster and point to their pictures. And I would encourage you to not do that. And one reason is that it can come across as if you're the teacher and you're teaching primary school students. And for your audience, they might find this a bit off-putting. Also, it seems a little bit old-fashioned. And so I encourage you to just keep your hands free. You don't need to hold on to anything, really. If you don't know what to do with your hands while you're presenting, one thing you can do is just to hold them in front of you together, or you can use your hands to gesture. But I encourage you to gesture with your hand and point out something with your hand rather than with a ruler or a stick. I think it'll come across as more professional if you are not holding a stick or a ruler. Okay, but a good question from Questioning in Kwangning. And let's go to our third and final letter for this mailbag, and that is from Timid in Tuyen Quang. Okay, Timid in Tuyen Quang. Dear Mr. Scott, I recently presented and I had a really hard time facing the audience. How can I improve on this for next time? Regards, Timid in Tuyen Quang. I really appreciate you recognizing this in your presentation and then wanting to improve. I think it's a really good indication that you're a teachable student if you recognize a weakness, but you want to improve that for the next time. So that's, first of all, that's a good thing. And next, I think that this is a common error with students. They often start out their presentation looking at the audience, and they get a little nervous, and by the end they're facing the side of the room, or they're facing the screen or the poster. And I think one thing you can do is in your outline, and I've talked before about presenting from notes instead of just memorizing. As you have your notes in your hand or an outline in your hand, just write in a little note or a little question that says, "Are you facing the audience?" So you can look at that and go, "Oh, okay," and then look at the audience. So that's one step, is just remembering to do that. The next step is having the courage to face the audience. And one piece of advice I'd give you is just to visualize yourself facing the audience when you imagine yourself presenting. Visualize yourself standing right in front of the audience and looking at people, making eye contact. And I think as you visualize that and prepare yourself mentally, it will help you to do that when you present. And then, in some cases, if your topic lends itself to a joke or something humorous, sometimes by making the audience laugh, that can make the presenter feel more comfortable and give you more confidence to be able to face the audience from the beginning. So, Timid and Tuyen Quang, I really hope you can take some of this to heart and that you will face the audience next time with confidence. Well, that's all we have time for today in the mailbag. But I encourage you, if you have a question that you'd like me to answer, feel free to comment on the blog, or you can comment on the YouTube video, or if you're in my class, you can just hand me your question written out during class. So look forward to seeing you next time. I'm Mr. Scott.